Hi, okay, so here's a gearbox update. So I took the opportunity to design a proper gearbox, and I'm sort of designing it in the way that I imagined that I would design a larger gearbox. So here you can see the O-ring sealing in the bottom there. So it's tube aluminum that I have TIG welded together. I do lose a significant amount of strength since the materials is hardened, and a lot of the structural strength is in the hardening, but it's a neat process, and I feel that I would like to try that out anyway. So it's the same gear components which are used in the PLA gearbox, but this is a lot more solid, and of course it transfers the heat from the gears out to the surrounding air. It's basically like one big heatsink. I'm using outboard gearbox oil here to lubricate the gears. I went for that option rather than the grease to get like smoother running, better performance. And I'm running 5 cells now. I'm waiting for 2 more batteries, but I'm starting out with these 2. So it's 10 cells in series. And the black paint there is just to get better readings from the infrared thermometer, what do you call it? Heat measuring device, okay. So this is just the very first little hop. The craft has been in oh yeah, the vertical is significantly much better now on 5 cells. The craft has been indoors and then in the car for a while, so it's like pretty much room temperature at this point. So I'm just making a short hop here to check the temperature rise. I'm pleasantly surprised over that the gearbox sound is significantly reduced now when it's going in a oil bath. So it's not as screamy. It's more of a regular machine noise. The craft is I think 600 grams lighter than with the 4 previous batteries, but it's going to be like a half kilo heavier than the previous version when the 2 new 5-cell battery arrives. So it has a little bit less penetration now, but it's still good. Okay, so this is the first check. It was probably around 18 degrees or so when I started. It's centigrades, of course, here in Sweden. Yeah, you can see there is yeah, it's pretty much what it would have been when I started out, but the motor was like 10 degrees above ambient, and the ground, yeah, you can see it's a cold day. It's like 4 degrees outside. Yeah, just checking the batteries as well. The right one here is a little bit fluffy, puffy, and the one to the left is like better condition. So now I'm just trying to well, whip it around as good as I can. I'm not a very good pilot, so I'm trying to stay within my limitations, so I don't I want to get test data out of this and not just get to know how easy I lose the orientation of the aircraft, because I know I'm not very good at keeping up with a structure like this, which is not very it's not very obvious what is left and right and front and back. But I'm trying to heat up the gearbox basically. It's almost completely still day. It's like no winds, so it's a perfect test opportunity to see how the aircraft behaves just based on the flight controller and the control surfaces and stuff like that. As you can see, the control surfaces aren't moving a lot to keep it in place, and the gains are set pretty low, and I'm very pleased with that. Okay, so this is not all flying I did this day, but I cut away a portion of it. But I'm going to check for the temperature on the gearbox and motor now. So we're up to around just about above 50 degrees on the motor, and the gearbox is yeah, like 25-ish or something like that. And I'm just checking the small pinion gears here, but they seem to be also like completely under control. It's like 20 degrees above ambient. And here you can see the right battery is like 20 degrees, and it's puffy, as I said, and the left one is like 2 degrees lower. And I just needed to like verify that with my hand, but you could actually detect that they are uneven. So the puffy battery has more resistance in it, and it's like totally reasonable. Oh yeah, okay, so that was the gearbox update. See you in the next one. Bye.